Stone damage may occur out of the blue. A passing vehicle on the road may fling a pebble or rock at the windshield of your vehicle and damage it. Whether this has caused only almost invisible chips of the outer glass layer or major damage, sooner or later it usually becomes necessary to replace the entire windshield, which involves considerable expense. With the windshield repair system demonstrated in the following, these types of stone damage may be repaired permanently and cost-effectively. First, a mirror is positioned behind the damage and mounted on the inside surface of the windshield. Then dirt and loose fragments of glass are removed from the impact area with a carbide marking tool. The tool holder is attached over the damage. The filling resin cylinder is screwed into the arm of the tool holder until the seal comes to rest on the glass surface around the impact point of the brake. It should not be screwed too tightly against the glass surface. The filling resin cylinder is filled with the so-called filling resin, and by screwing in the piston, the filling resin is pressed into the damaged area. All air is removed from the brake by unscrewing the piston and by the vacuum produced with a vacuum pump connected to the filling resin cylinder. The pressure and vacuum cycles are repeated until all air is removed from the damaged area and until the brake is completely filled with resin. Then the filling resin cylinder is rotated to give access to the damaged area. The repair is checked with a small, powerful torch to ensure that the brake is completely filled with resin and free from all air. After the tool holder is removed, the filling resin injected into the brake is exposed to ultraviolet light to cure it. Finally, the chipped outer glass layer is sealed with finishing resin. A small quantity of finishing resin is applied to the impact point, covered with a finishing foil, and cured with ultraviolet light. After removing the UV lamp and the finishing foil, all excess finishing resin is carefully removed with a blade. To achieve maximum optical clarity, the surface of the finishing resin is then polished by using a polishing liquid, a polishing disc, and a small drill. After repair, the windshield will fulfill all its physical and mechanical functions. Moreover, this repair will restore its original properties and remove practically all visual distortion. And your customers will be very happy to find that they saved a lot of money. Windshield repair is of course much less costly than replacement. The repair kit demonstrated in the video is excellent for car service centers and car glass replacement shops. Second-hand car dealers, bus companies, and fleet repair shops also benefit from stone damage repair. Stone damage may occur out of the blue. A passing vehicle on the road may fling a pebble or rock at the windshield of your vehicle and damage it. Whether this has caused only almost invisible chips of the outer glass layer or major damage, sooner or later, it usually becomes necessary to replace the entire windshield, which involves considerable expense. All types of stone damage shown may be repaired permanently and cost-effectively with the windshield repair system. Before you start repairing, watch the entire instructional video and carefully read the technical instructions contained in the repair kit. We have tried to explain to you how to do really perfect repairs of stone damage. Please bear in mind that major damages within the driver's long-distance field of vision, i.e. an area in front of the driver the size of an upright letter sheet, must not be repaired. Many countries have adopted the German guidelines shown in the video as their standards, or have established very similar guidelines. The repair is done as follows. First, clean the windshield with a commercially available glass cleaner. As cleaning solutions frequently contain silicone, they must be prevented from penetrating the impact area. To make sure that this does not happen, do not spray the glass cleaner directly on the glass surface, but on a cleaning cloth, and then clean the windshield with the impregnated cloth. To observe the repair process, a mirror is mounted on the inside surface of the windshield behind the damage, and with the carbide marking tool, loose fragments of glass and any possible dirt are carefully removed from the impact point. Make sure that you do not scratch beyond the chipped impact area with the carbide marking tool, since this will cause additional damage to the glass surface, which will be visible even after further repair. Before fixing the tool holder, note that the arm of the tool holder may be rotated. This makes it possible to move the filling resin cylinder after filling to provide access to the damaged area. Now you can easily check the result. The body of the tool holder has 2 stops for the swivel arm. If you rotate the arm to check if the repair was successful and detect that the damaged area is not completely filled with resin, or that there is still air in it, the arm may be pushed back to engage in the stop and positioned exactly over the impact point once again. The tool holder will be fixed on the glass surface with the arm engaged into one of the 2 stops. The suction cup is completely lowered by means of the adjustable lifting screw on the tool holder. Now some vacuum gel is applied to the bottom of the suction cup of the tool holder. This makes the tool holder slide more easily over the glass surface when positioning it towards the impact point, and prevents the tool holder from dropping due to air intake. Now place the tool holder next to the damaged area and ensure that the filling resin cylinder thread is centered over the impact point of the damage. By a few turns of the suction cup lifting screw, the suction cup is gently pressed against the glass surface. Do not press the suction cup too tightly against the glass surface because the stress can cause the damage to run. Check the suction pressure with a finger by trying to lift one of the legs of the tool holder. Now take a package of filling resin out of the repair kit and open it. And then take out the filling resin cylinder. To ensure that the filling resin cylinder forms an exact right angle with the glass surface, it is recommended that the rubber seal of the filling resin cylinder be removed before it is screwed in. Now the screw nut of the spherical head is slightly opened to allow the entire lower opening of the filling resin cylinder to perfectly seal with the glass surface. Now the screw nut of the spherical head is closed again, and the filling resin cylinder is unscrewed from the spherical head. The seal is inserted into the filling resin cylinder, which is screwed in again, until the seal sits with low pressure on the glass surface. By looking into the filling resin cylinder opening and sliding the entire tool holder, the filling resin cylinder may be positioned so precisely that the center of the filling resin cylinder seal is placed exactly axially above the impact area of the damage. Now, the red cap is screwed off the throwaway syringe filled with filling resin. The needle, with the guard, is screwed to the syringe and the needle guard is pulled off. If the filling resin cylinder was used before, 0.2 milliliters of filling resin should be injected. If it was not used before, a quantity of 0.3 milliliters should be injected. Inject the filling resin as deeply as possible into the filling resin cylinder. Then the cylinder piston is screwed into the filling resin cylinder until the filling resin starts to penetrate the damaged area. This may be checked with the help of the mirror. Then slightly increase the pressure. By observing the rubber seal expand in the mirror, it is possible to check the pressure applied. Never screw the piston head against the filling resin cylinder head. Now just wait for the major part of the damaged area to fill with resin. In the next step, most of the air is removed from the damaged area at the beginning of the repair by quickly unscrewing the piston almost completely. This results in a vacuum in the upper part of the filling resin cylinder. Wait for some moments and then screw the piston back into the filling resin cylinder until low pressure is exerted on the damaged area by the filling resin. Wait for a short while and unscrew the piston completely from the filling resin cylinder. Take the vacuum pump and the PVC tube out of the repair kit. Connect the PVC tube to the vacuum pump. Then connect the red adapter to the filling resin cylinder and set the filling resin cylinder under a vacuum. This has the effect that the air enclosed in the damaged area, which is under normal air pressure, is sucked through the resin into the upper part of the filling resin cylinder, which is under a vacuum. By applying heat to the back of the damaged area, using a cigarette lighter no more than twice, the remaining air in the damaged area will expand and escape more easily through the resin, which is made thinner by the heat. Furthermore, the resin, made thinner by heat application, will flow more easily into the damage. After applying heat, maintain the vacuum for some minutes. As soon as you feel that all air has escaped from the damaged area, remove the vacuum from the filling resin cylinder. Now the filling resin will flow into the damage due to the vacuum generated in the damaged area. To remove the air from the damage more easily and to facilitate penetration of the resin, pressure may be exerted on the impact cone with the pressure appliance tool through the filling resin cylinder with the piston having been unscrewed. Now screw in the cylinder piston and exert minor pressure on the filling resin. To avoid excessive filling, do not press too tightly. In general, it is important to take your time to achieve optimum repair results, and watch the entire repair process constantly by looking into the mirror, but also through the repair area from the inside of the windshield. This is the only way to detect possible remaining air pockets and to avoid excessive filling. If you have the impression that the damage is completely filled, move the filling resin cylinder from the damage and check with the torch from all sides to be sure that there is really no air left in the damaged area and that it is completely filled with resin. Damage should be filled with a substantial body of fill resin to prevent spreading during curing due to polymerization shrinkage. But in any case, do not fill the damage excessively. The excessive filling resin that remained in the filling resin cylinder and did not penetrate the damage is extracted from the filling resin cylinder by means of the throwaway syringe and the needle. Put the resin back into the UV protected resin package and keep it for reuse in the next repair. After taking off the tool holder and removing all the excess resin with a blade, the UV lamp is placed on the repair and the filling resin is cured for 2 or 3 minutes. After curing the filling resin, the UV lamp is removed. And some finishing resin is applied to the chipped outer glass layer. A finishing foil is applied to it slowly and carefully to prevent air bubbles from being enclosed in the finishing resin, and the finishing resin is cured with the UV lamp for 2 minutes. After removing the UV lamp and the finishing foil, all excess finishing resin is carefully and slowly removed with a razor blade by scraping crosswise until the original impact point is reduced to a small gray spot. Under no circumstances must you cut off the finishing resin. Do not exert too much pressure when removing the excess finishing resin, because this could lead to scratches on the finished surface that cannot be eliminated by polishing. Apply some polishing liquid to the surface of the finishing resin. Attach the polishing disc to the drill and polish the surface of the finishing resin. Do not exert too much pressure when polishing so as to avoid burning the finished surface. After repair, the windshield will fulfill all its physical and mechanical functions. Moreover, repair will restore its original properties and remove practically all visual distortion. If there are star breaks, 2 or 3 fine line cracks starting from the impact point, it frequently happens that one or the other fine crack has no direct access to the impact point, so that the filling resin is unable to flow in. In this case, drilling is required to establish a connection. The rotating drill is placed into the center of the impact point, and light pressure is exerted on the drill until the floury white glass flows out of the drill hole. As soon as this happens, the drill has to be pulled out to let it cool. This process is repeated until the spherical head of the drill disappears in the drill hole. Do not drill too deeply into the break, since this would damage the lamination. The remaining glass layer above the lamination is opened with a drill hole punch and the carbide marking tool used like a small hammer. Now the star break may be filled as reliably and easily as any other stone damage. If there are problems in filling individual cracks of a star break, you may exert light pressure with the pressure appliance tool on the legs of stars starting from the impact point. As the legs of cracks open toward the bottom, the filling resin may flow in. Moreover, you can press the drill hole punch through the filling resin cylinder on the drill hole and exert pressure. This will make the resin flow more easily into the damage. By applying heat, once or at most twice to the damage. From the back, with a cigarette lighter, the resin flows into the brake more easily. Deep chips and drill holes have to be filled with finishing resin in a step-by-step process due to the polymerization shrinkage. If major chips of the outer glass layer, or drill holes, were filled and cured in a single process, this would lead to capping on the surface as the resin cures from top to bottom. As a consequence, on the bottom of the glass layer, i.e. on the lamination, one or several vacuum bubbles would form, since no more fill material could flow in from the surface. Therefore, fill drill holes and deep chips only step by step. Cure each individual resin layer for 1 minute. Repeat these processes until you reach the damaged surface. It is only the last resin layer completely filling the drill hole or the chipped outer glass layer that is covered with the finishing foil and cured. To achieve a satisfactory repair result, even in case of wet and contaminated damages, the washing primer is used for cleaning the glass surface and preparing it for welding. To find out if a damaged area is wet, simply press with the pressure appliance tool on the impact cone. Now take out the red washing cylinder and the washing primer from the repair kit. Unscrew the piston until the thread becomes visible, and fill the upside-down washing cylinder with 0.3 to 0.5 milliliters washing primer. Now hold the washing cylinder on the damage. By quickly and repeatedly screwing the piston in and out, the washing primer is pressed into and extracted from the damage. This process removes the contamination inside the brake. The washing primer is eliminated from the damage by extraction with the aid of the vacuum pump and the transparent suction cup from the outside of the windshield. At the same time, heat is applied to the damage with the cigarette lighter from the back. By pressing several times on the impact cone with the pressure appliance tool, you can test if the damage is completely dry. If this is the case, the damage is clean and ready for filling. The vertical or bus adapter is used for repairing vertical windshields. It is screwed into the spherical head instead of the filling resin cylinder, and then the latter is screwed in the diagonal bore of the bus adapter. To ensure optimum adjustment, it is possible to fix the spherical head of the tool holder with a built-in positioning nut on the bus adapter. By opening the positioning nut of the spherical head of the tool holder, the bus adapter may be rotated into a position in which the filling resin cylinder points up without changing the pressure of the sealing lip of the bus adapter against the glass surface. Now inject 0.3 milliliters filling resin into the bus adapter. Then screw in the filling resin cylinder and inject 0.2 milliliters filling resin as deeply as possible into the filling resin cylinder. Now you can proceed exactly as shown before. Thanks to the high quality of resins, today only line cracks longer than 10 centimeters, i.e. in bus and truck windshields, require drilling. Line cracks are drilled and opened by tapping, in the same way as damages with brakes allowing inadequate access to the chips of the outer glass layer. Line cracks are filled first at the drill hole. Filling is effected by capillary action only. First, resin is applied only to a small part of the crack. You have to wait for the resin to penetrate the crack before you can apply resin to the next small portion of the crack. If resin was injected throughout the crack, the air could not escape from the crack or would escape only partially. Thanks to the excellent properties of today's resins, it would be possible to repair also extremely long line cracks. But in most cases, line cracks do not occur immediately, but spread from the stone damage or an edge of the windshield. If the vehicle is used during rainfall, the road dirt is whirled up by other vehicles and enters the crack. If contamination got inside the brake, it is almost impossible to clean it, and the repair result would not be satisfactory. Based on practical experience, only line cracks of a maximum length of 10 centimeters in passenger cars and 30 centimeters in buses and trucks are therefore repaired. As soon as the line crack is completely filled, a special adhesive tape for cracks is placed over the filled crack. Do not press tightly against the glass surface, but apply lightly. Then cure the resin with ultraviolet light. After curing and removing the special adhesive tape, the excess resin is cut off with a blade. Then, the glass surface is cleaned with a commercially available glass cleaner. Given the UV sensitivity of the fill and finishing resins, repairs should, in general, be made in daylight-proof closed rooms. If this is not possible, the ultraviolet shields included in the delivery permit you to make repairs outside closed rooms where the repair is exposed to daylight. This video has been designed to provide audio-visual information supplementing the written technical instructions included in every set. However, you have to make your own efforts and gain experience by practical training to learn to do really perfect windshield repairs. Although repairs do look easy in demonstrations and in this video, it will take you some time to be able to perform quality repairs. Bear in mind that stone damage repairs can be an excellent business opportunity, but you will be able to take advantage of this opportunity only if you are able to provide your customers with professional quality repairs. Good luck!